As a trader, we can be exposed to what feels like absolute chaos. Whether it's New York Open and indices are extremely volatile, maybe FOMC or NFP, but those moments can lead to the internal chaos because now you have to process and interpret all of this information in what seems like seconds. Live market conditions can start to raise your heart rate. What do I do? The market is melting. It's coming to my zone. Do I still take it? Is there too much bearish momentum? Or you're already in a trade, but it's slipping closer and closer to your stop, or price is steadily approaching your target, but it seems it can go even further. And what if you can make even more? So, what to do? These are all common experiences in the trading space, but they don't have to result in panic. As human beings, we seek stability. The markets are everything but that. Due to constant change, it's likely you feel like you're just never going to have control here. Mindfulness might be the answer that you're looking for. At least it's been extremely useful for me. I like this definition of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a process of actively noticing new things. When you do that, it puts you in the present. It makes you more sensitive to context and perspective. It's the essence of engagement. Practicing mindfulness can give you the advantage of opportunity during these price changes. It can give you the mental flexibility to switch your bias to accept new information. You can cut your losses shorter or avoid them altogether because you just didn't marry that trade. You accept the new information for what it is, and you're not just trading what you had made your mind up on. Beyond just trade management, the entire trading process evolves while practicing mindfulness. Regardless of what you're doing, either you're doing it mindfully or mindlessly. And when you're approaching the trading process mindfully, what you're doing sticks with you. Autopilot behavior, it doesn't. But when you're mindful, that action comes back to you. And these markets are oceans of uncertainty, right? We make risk based decisions on these uncertainties. And sometimes we get it right, sometimes we get it wrong, and sometimes we make mistakes. When we get it wrong, mindfulness reminds you that you're just wrong right now. You won't be wrong forever. Since you're engaging with right now, you recognize that you not only lost the battle, that's it. You just been at the war. Mindfulness is even more powerful after you make a mistake. When you don't follow your trading system, guys, ideally this practice prevents mistakes, but let's imagine a scenario where you're mindlessly trading. In my experience, the moment I make the mistake, I know I messed up. And then you're just basically hoping it goes well. So let's not rely on hope. And just as fast as you broke your plan, you can fix your mistake. You're able to put it into context for your situation. If you do nothing about your mistake, chances are the outcome is going to be significantly worse than it needs to be. So you have to be able to stitch yourself up so you're not bleeding out. Now, look, stress is not a function of events, it's a function of the view you take on those events. I mentioned how you're either mindful or mindless in anything that you do, especially because there's time, money, energy, and all this is on the line while you trade. The option to trade mindlessly is completely off the table. If the game was always the same, then sure, but it's not. So there's no world in which you can approach this mindlessly. If you submit yourself to that belief, then you realize how important it is to follow your procedures. And look, I'm sure you have some sort of confirmations for your trading system. But before you go, I want to make sure you have an ideal checklist. Not in terms of what exactly you need to get into the market or out of the market, but just how to build a checklist that you'll actually mindfully use. Okay. Checklists become pretty boring and likely for you to approach mindlessly, just monotonously. But I do think there's a way. And if you require qualitative information, then you have to consciously input specific information in order for you to get to the next step in your trading process. So I'll give you an example. Ask yourself, what time frame are you looking at the market, and is the market trending with or against your setup? If it's trending with your setup, are you risking 1 hour or half hour? If it's trending against your setup, are you risking 1 hour or half hour? So when you ask yourself questions that lead to mindful thinking, you're way less prone to mistakes because you're using the present to create context for yourself. Trading is really only one trade at a time, nothing more, nothing less. If you make that trade matter, all of your trading matters. You have a choice: be mindful or mindless. There's infinite outcomes, but the worst result is losing mindlessly. So as you trade, be mindful, acknowledge new things, make it meaningful to you, and watch your trading transform.